Welcome to The Idea Space, a podcast devoted to sharing strategies and tools to help you make your dream life possible. I'm your host, Jen Liddy, a teacher turned entrepreneur. It's my mission to help women grow their businesses and get what they want without feeling guilty, overwhelmed, or confused. If you're tired of your ideas spinning around your mind and you really want something more for yourself, you're in the right place. Learn how to create the space to make your ideas a reality. I promise, if I can do this, anyone can. Let's go. Good morning. I wonder if you have ever felt that when things are hard or overwhelming or confusing, that you take things personally. You make it that there's something you did wrong and that it feels that you can't get calm. You feel like you're so overwhelmed. If you are feeling that way, I want you to know you are not alone. And that's why I've invited personal and executive coach Shoshanna Hecht to join us today. Shoshanna and I are friends from a long time ago. We've worked together in a coaching group together, and now we mastermind once a month to help support each other in our businesses and in our lives. But Shoshanna is highly trained, and she works with high achieving women to help them up-level their lives, get more confidence, communicate more effectively, just feel calmer in their everyday lives. And so she's here today to teach us her favorite tool to help people under-personalize what's going on right now. Thanks for coming, you little busy girl. I love that you made time for me today.
Thanks for having me. Anytime.
I appreciate it.
Time for Jen Liddy.
So can you tell us a little bit, I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about what's going on right now for people and what does under-personalizing mean?
Okay. I cannot tell you, Jen, how many of my clients and people I'm talking to, friends, everyone, they're just talking about how everything is coming at them and they're taking it all on as if it's about them, that it's a referendum on them, and adds to their stress and overwhelm. And this is something I teach and coach on all the time. And this is like 95% rule, which is that 95% of what comes your way is just not about you. And it's something to practice all the time, right? We take like little expressions and reactions on people's faces. Do you know what I'm talking about? And as oh, I did something, or that's something about me. And I always encourage people that if you're laughing, okay.
I'm laughing because when I was a teacher, this used to be a thing that I had to talk myself off the ledge for all the time because I was in front of high school students or college students and I'd be teaching and I was excited about what I was teaching and they'd be like, or somebody would yawn or like somebody would have a thought and something would flicker across their face and I would personalize it like I made a mistake or they're bored or it's my problem that they're having a certain experience.
Yeah. Or you're tanking, you're sinking, yeah, totally. It's funny. Case in point, like there's so many times where I'll be on a webinar or teaching something and it's the person who looked like they were napping who comes up to me at the end and is like, that was really powerful for me. And I'm like, okay, like just like, let that be your takeaway, right? That you have no idea what is going on in someone's internal world, which is why it's so important to ask them. That's not actually the tool that I'm teaching.
But it's a good tool, people.
It's a good tool. It's really, it's just so important to, especially right now, over communicate, right? I always think that that's so essential. If you're wondering what someone's thinking, or they have some reaction that you're experiencing or some referendum on you, ask them about it. Like, just get curious, and don't automatically go to the default that it's something that you did or that you're doing wrong. And that's the whole piece about like, it's mostly not about you.
How do you know though, why do people avoid asking why do people avoid over communicating? This is what I really want to understand because I have heard the same message from so many leaders right now, over communicate with your people, over communicate with your family, but people seem to be reticent to do that. Why is that, do you think?
I mean, pre-corona,
yeah,
because we have insecurities and self-doubts and confidence issues, which is what I coach on. And I think that it hits the core of that. I think why you're hearing it right now a lot is because we're doing so much of this, right? So much Zooming, so much Skyping, so many Google Hangouts, whatever your tool is that you're using. It's so much video, much more video and phone. I know you and I already do a lot of that.
Yeah.
But even for me, it's so much more, Jen. Like, it's the first, like 2 weeks ago, there was a night where I was like, my head is killing me. My eyes are tearing. Maybe I have coronavirus. I was like, oh, maybe I have eye strain.
Maybe I have Zoomitis.
Maybe I have videoitis, right? And that is really what it was, actually, fortunately for me. But even for me, I don't know if you're experiencing this too. It's just so much more of this, and we lose a lot of the way that we communicate, right? We're only showing the part of
From here
ourselves.
up. I do have pants on, but yes, you only see from here up, right?
Also, I have pants on. You're welcome.
Thank you.
But I think when we communicate this way, we only show the part of ourselves that we choose to, right? And so then we were relying on hands or face or whatever to communicate the message, and our words, of course.
Right.
But we know that, like, I don't know, it's like something like 95% or 93% of communication is body language.
Not the nonverbals.
The tone of voice, facial expressions, like such a little tiny part of it are the actual words, right?
It's interesting, yeah.
So I think that's why you're hearing that message all the more so now.
Right. Because we have to now break through this video barrier, like, whoa, and be, for a lot of us, it's uncomfortable to have to do that. Okay. So to go back to the point you were originally making, which I interrupted, we have no idea what's actually going on with other people. We take things personally. We tell ourselves stories, and a strategy to get past that is over communication.
Yeah, right. Over communication, ask, get curious. Like, that's but to get to that point where you can have the confidence to, like, just go there with people, you have to, I think, start to really train yourself to tell yourself a different story, and make reprogram your default to be like, actually, it's not about me, right? I think the initial assumption we all have is like, oh, that face, oh, that grimace, oh, as opposed to, like, someone was thinking about, like, oh, I forgot to take, the dinner out of the fridge so it could, like, freezer so it could thaw, so it would be, I could cook it tonight when I got home, like, whatever. I don't know.
No, but it's really, like, that happened to me last night. I had the whole week planned out for food, and last night I just could not. And so I went and picked up sushi because I was going grocery shopping anyway. And I had this big story that, like, I disappointed my family because we were like, what? They don't care, right? But we personalize everything that, like, we've screwed up somehow.
So everything is some way that we're failing, right? Including how we're landing with someone, right? Including what we're talking about, like, all of it, big and small. It's all the ways that we're just, a mess. And the truth is, we're not a mess. And I think especially right now, I made this, like, that quote, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. And I changed the word nothing to something, because we are all fighting a battle we know a little bit about, right? Like, everybody's dealing with hunkering down, more time with our family who we love.
Not that much.
Not this much. Exactly this much. Right? So I think we're all struggling with some version of something we can all relate on. And I think all the more reason to let ourselves off the hook a little bit. I just really believe that, like, and I think I said this to you before, like, unless you are actively ill and you're out in the world spreading this illness, it's not about you. Right? And maybe it is, but communicate on that, right? And the way to get there, right? So first it starts with, like, really starting to remind yourself, practicing this. I often will have clients practice mantras in the mirror. They think it's silly until they do it, and it works, right? You get that eye contact, right? And you look yourself in the eye, and it is a little silly, actually, which just takes the pressure off. It makes it less serious. We're so wedded to these stories we tell ourselves, right? They are about who we are or what we're worth, right? And it's like a big deal, right? I can't speak up at a meeting because no one will want to hear from me because my ideas are dumb, right? And we get, like, and that's really intense, right? But if we look ourselves in the mirror and say, like, no, actually, I am an expert in this. I have something to offer. You are reprogramming, right? You're starting to rewire that. And it's also, like you were saying, like, you're countering this message that's you're just taking the load off, right?
I think people don't take it seriously enough how much our brains are automatically programmed from all the video that it's just, and when I mean video, I mean like all of the subconscious stuff that we've been taking in for literally our entire lives. And I don't think people take that seriously enough that we have to break the pattern and undo it. And you're saying this silly, quote unquote, version of looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, no, I'm really quite an expert on this. Or I really can make that kind of money. Or people really do need to hear what I have to say. That's where it starts.
It brings into the light, right, the negative story, and then helps cast it dispels like the mystique around it, right? Like the intensity around it. It pulls it into the light and casts like, oh, actually that's BS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's empowering to tell yourself a positive message. There's so many reasons why I think it's a great idea. I think I wrote in a blog post recently about how hard this is right now and like how important it is to set boundaries, because especially for someone like me whose inclination when there's opportunities to help and be a helper, because I am hardwired to be a helper, but like, let's be real, I'm also socially conditioned to be like, I've gotten a lot of messages over my life. And I think that's what you're talking about, right? And it comes at us in a variety of ways through media, social media, messaging from our family, right, society about what it means to be good and helpful and et cetera, et cetera. And we have to actively work against that auto programming and tell ourselves more positive messages, that we have to take it on, right? So
I think that's a really interesting point, because some people believe if I have a negative messaging in my head, I can't make that kind of money. I can't get a promotion. You know, I like your people are especially, your people are especially high level, right? Like I'm not worth that promotion. I can't get that promotion. And then I think really unconsciously they're waiting for a parent to tell them, no, you do deserve that. And they might like silently live waiting for the parent to give them permission. But we kind of have to do that for ourselves at this point. We have to almost be our own parents.
The very definition of adulting, right?
Oh, right. Be your own freaking parent.
You have, if you will not cheerlead yourself, who will?
Oh my God, I love that. I'm putting that in the notes.
If you will not boost yourself up and tell yourself a positive story, who on earth will? And they certainly won't, like when you need it the most, right? Even if you have a really supportive partner or parent or sibling or friends, you still like when you need it the most, you gotta own that. You gotta do it.
The other thing that happens though, even if you do have somebody who cheerleads you, your brain is going to be like, I don't believe you. You're lying. That's a lie. Like your brain is going to flick off that person.
I think also we have a negativity bias too. We can get like 8 million compliments, 8 million ways that we're amazing. You get that one piece of criticism, that one tiny, and what do you focus on?
It's 100% true.
Right.
Okay.
So that's why
it's so good.
Yeah. It's an active like process. Like you have to be engaged in it and committed to it. And okay, this is not like, it's all related, but you got to plan for it. You got to commit to it. You got to set reminders. Use your technological device. I always say, use your technology for good. Don't just keep panic refreshing. Set a timer to tell yourself a positive story about yourself. Tell yourself who you really are. Remind yourself every day. Do it multiple times a day. Put a mantra on your lock screen. Like these are like,
yes.
Like use your technology to help you, not to feed your like anxiety.
Your negativity bias, right?
Exactly.
So far I've got the first step is, first of all, like seeing that you're doing this. And then the first step is to practice a mantra to help you remind yourself that you have some positive stories. And then the second step is to commit to taking care of your brain. Like this has to be part of your self-care practice, like a reminder that you have to be your own cheerleader.
Right. Yes.
And what's next? What happens after that?
So the other thing is that there's a lot coming our way. Like, are you feeling bombarded by
sure.
Like, and every opportunity, like I think we were talking about just a couple of minutes ago about like everywhere that you're failing because you didn't figure out a home cooked meal.
It's so stupid.
It's not stupid. It's just easy to beat ourselves up, right? It's just easy. Like it's that I think that's that bias, right? Like it's our go-to. And
Mm-hmm.
so what I always say, it's like there's never been a better time to work on your emotional intelligence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like factoring in how to respond instead of reacting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It
Okay.
is so hard. But
Can you explain the difference between the two for people?
oh gosh, okay. When your beloved, right, leaves, says something, anything like, "Hey, what's for dinner?" Hey, right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
And you say, "I don't know."
100%. Why am I the only one who knows how the kitchen works?
Why don't you tell me what's for dinner?
That's a reaction, I'm guessing.
That's a reaction.
Okay. Okay, I got it.
So I always encourage people, like the actual great first step there is to take what I call the powerful pause, right?
Okay.
And in that powerful pause is your moment to tell yourself, like, this is not actually a referendum on me and my worth and my ability to like pull this family together and keep us
Mm,
forward.
right.
This is just a question about like dinner,
Mm, I like
right?
that. So
Maybe
I'm putting it in the notes.
I'm hungry
A
now and
powerful pause.
dinner.
A moment to tell yourself this is not about me or my worth. This is just, and then fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's cool.
How about I assume that this has nothing to do with me? It's just
Mm,
about dinner.
mm,
And I could ask a question. Oh, I really hadn't thought about dinner yet. Is there something you were thinking might be good? We can
mm-hmm.
work together on the dinner plan. Or is that something you were thinking you might want to take on for us all tonight? Because that would be amazing.
I would love for you to take that on. I would love for you to make the decision.
I hadn't really actually thought about dinner, and I'm feeling pretty tight on time today. Do you think that you could take dinner on tonight?
What do you do then in that moment when you have done a powerful pause? You have realized it's not really about you, it's about a situation or a story you're telling yourself. And the other person reacts back to you.
They don't like your waiting. They don't like your
Mm,
Mhm. Well, there's two things I want to say about that actually,
okay.
because that is just an opportunity to practice your responsiveness, right? And
Okay.
you guys, I'm not saying you guys, you Jen,
People.
people in the world, whoever might listen to this, simple. This is simple, not easy,
Okay.
in the way that relationships just are, and communication is, right? This is simple, but it's another opportunity to set a limit, to practice a timeout with that person. I don't know
Mm.
what, like, you maybe have an idea of what you're thinking of, like that could look like, and so
No, I don't. I just know that, you and I have used these tools for so long in our relationships. My family is very used to me like having that kind of a response versus a reaction. But in a family where a woman is taking this on and it's like the first time she's trying it out and everybody in the family's like, what the hell? No, no, no. This is the place where you either yell or you passive aggressively then go make dinner.
yeah,
Right. And so now you've changed the paradigm for the people in your relationship that you're in relationship with. They might not like, they have to get used to it, right? Like it's a new framework that you're introducing into the relationship.
yeah. Well, I think then just again, it's an opportunity to over communicate, right? And explaining, like, I'm really working on changing
Mm,
how I interact with this family because I want our interactions because I love you. And I
mhm,
want it to feel really good between us. And I
mhm.
don't want to resent dinner or
Right.
your questions
Or
or
you.
or you, right?
Mhm,
Or I want to have fun, as
mhm.
much fun as we can have um in our relationships together. And so I'm really working on how I come back at at you. Come
So
back at
being transparent
you.
about it is
Yeah, I
important.
think again it's that opportunity to over communicate. I also think sometimes we take that powerful pause and we are still real pissed, right? This is the other thing I want to say about this. And we
Mm,
can't name it for ourselves, right? We can't quite put our finger on what's going on. And that's a thing to communicate too, right? Say
mhm.
like, I'm having a feeling about this that's not that nice, not that kind, not that generous, and I
Mhm.
need a moment to figure it out. So I'm gonna put myself in a timeout or walk
Mhm.
away. My husband and I live in 850 square feet, so walking away, we live in New York City,
Mhm.
which we love, but it's just we live in a small space. So walking away can be, we don't get to walk that far, but
Right.
we've done a lot of work on this communication, so we know what each other means when we say stuff like this, and walking away, it can just be like you're in your,
Like your own bubble. Yeah.
yeah, get your noise canceling headphones, whatever works. But I
Right,
think
right.
communicate, like, you don't have to be perfect at this. You don't have to be an expert at it. It's a practice, not a perfect, right?
Okay.
So your ability to say, I'm having some feelings, I can't quite tease them out, and I need some time.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be back.
That's a response versus a reaction, which would be to like get inflamed or get into a fight or.
Exactly, and it's a response that gives you some space to figure out what's going on. It's like, so I just want to encourage, like, people to say, you don't have to be a magician and know every feeling you're having, or reaction you're having, or be able to solve a problem in the moment. It's just your ability to take that pause, over communicate, make it not about you.
Hmm. So, would a powerful mantra, I'm just writing these notes because it's so important. Take the powerful pause, over communicate, and think about how to make it not about you.
Right.
Okay.
The
So, like
making it
in the
not about
dinner
you
situation,
making
which
it not about you is sorry, the making it not about you is kind of like everyday underlying work, like,
yes,
yeah.
like the dinner thing. I think that's a really great example. Like
Mhm.
the fact that I didn't want to make dinner last night, I made it all about like it was my fault, right? I over personalized this thing, and nobody else in the family gave a crap. We could have just had. I think we wound up having sushi and potato chips last night. That was our dinner. But this is a really helpful tool with very simple steps. And I know that this is your expertise and that you teach on this a lot. I also know you've written a lot on it. You speak a lot on this whole this whole paradigm of not over personalizing. How can people follow you, learn more about you, so they can benefit from your knowledge?
I'm on the World Wide Web.
All right, the internets.
I'm on the internet at
Okay, what's your website?
ShoshannaHecht.com. ShoshannaHecht.com. That's where my blog lives. That's where I have some recorded
Oh
meditations.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you have some a free download for people who want a meditation to help them with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, meditation for overwhelm reduction is one that many of my clients get a lot of relief from.
Oh, nice.
I have one person client who listens to it every day. In fact,
Where can people is that a free download?
it's a free download.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. What's the I can't think. Can I tell you the link later?
Yeah, you can tell me it later, and I'll put it back in here.
Okay. I can't remember the exact. I don't want to give you the wrong link right now, but it's there. But in fact, I never have to worry if the link is, how things break on websites, right? I never have to worry if that link is working because she will tell me.
She's like, I can't get through my day today.
Yeah. I'm doing a bunch of stuff on Instagram about how to help you take care of yourself. So Instagram's a great place to follow me right now.
What's your handle on Instagram?
Shoshanna Hecht.
Okay.
So the Instagram.com. I'm on all the platforms, but I'm doing the most interaction and lives and conversations with people about how to take better care of yourself during this time, including setting limits, taking pauses. So those are
so you're at Shoshanna Hecht at Instagram, right? On Instagram.
Instagram.com/Shoshanna Hecht is how you do it. But yeah,
I got it.
My name.
Just wanted to make sure that got in there.
Yeah, if you do my name, you'll find me.
I've worked with Shoshanna for a long time, and she's quite an expert. She's highly trained. She works with women on so many issues around, imposter syndrome. She really is here on the planet to help empower women, and help them get to the next level in their lives. And I know she does that in a lot of different ways. So if you follow her, I think that you'll get a lot of good information that'll help you on a daily basis. So Shoshanna, thank you so much for showing up for me today. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks for having me, Jen.
This was a fun conversation.
I love this chat with you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for joining me today. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to the Idea Space in your podcast app. And tell that friend of yours who needs some help getting where she wants to go. I'd be so appreciative if you left a review, because then we can help more women create the space for their ideas too. Go to jenliddy.com/free to grab the many free resources there to help you move forward. And I will see you next time. Bye.